Eric's having a very fun time getting their stream to function. Surprisingly,
Yes.
mine is doing okay. I don't seem to be having many issues.
Fantastic.
Yeah, here I'll kind of cup around the microphone so that the wind isn't too bad. But yeah, I've been having a great time. All of my life, the last time I went to Manhattan, the last time I went to New York I was like maybe 9, 10, 11 years old. I don't remember exactly. But that should tell you exactly how much I remember because I don't remember. I don't remember seeing the city. I barely remember even like seeing anything, skyline and stuff. But, ostensibly I have not been to New York. Heard Greenland was for sale. It drops occasionally, but better than the last IRL stream. Oh, that's good. Yeah, the last IRL stream, we were out in like the middle of fucking nowhere. We were out in a giant state park and underneath a waterfall. So there was probably not much
I don't know why it's dropping.
in the way of signal there. And like we had our Starlink satellite set up, a good distance away, but nonetheless. Tell us about your memories of September 11th. Oh my God. So fun fact, 9/11 was my third ever memory. My first memory was being in a grocery store with my mom. My second memory was my dad leaving a room and I was crying. Don't even remember the context of that. And then my third memory was seeing the first tower while it was smoking on the TV while I was in the living room. I was like 4 years old. So that's my connection to New York. I do remember it, being something that clearly affected the people around me, but of course I didn't have the context to know why or how. In my 4-year-old brain, I thought it was just a very boring movie, because it just, the first tower got hit and then it was just, nothing happened for hours. Well, I don't remember exactly the amount of time, but, people were freaking out. I've looked at some of the footage of stuff that's happened. It is absolutely insane, and very unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm gonna wind down my stream.
Okay.
So, yes, tech issues being tech issues. Tech kind of works. Running 2 streams off one Starlink, maybe not the best idea because Starlink's biggest issue is upload speed. So, if you're gonna try and do this, advice. This is fun.
If you want,
Really cool.
I can wind down my stream and then
Fine.
see if yours works.
I've learned the bunch. I need a better camera that can actually do a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, get yourself a Sony Alpha.
I don't even know what that is. I appreciate you all you guys. Thank you everyone who subscribed. I'm sorry the stream was a bit on the shorter side, but it was a technical test largely. Appreciate you. Have a good one.
If you want, what we could do is basically just treat this as like a recording session or something. I could send you the footage.
Good, I think.
Well, I'll keep my stream going for just a little bit longer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I am fascinated by the infrastructure that they have here because, where I'm from, I am not from an area that has really any public infrastructure as far as like transportation. So if you want to get anywhere, you have to have a car, which is pretty lame. It would be a lot cooler if they did not do that. If they had a system that allowed you to just get around. I highly recommend watching a channel called Not Just Bikes if you want to learn more about that kind of stuff, because the US has a very silly car-dependent system. And not only does it have a car-dependent system, it has a car-dependent system where the laws surrounding cars are not even that good. Where we have things like people with their brights on all the time, not getting pulled over. You have like the road designs being a disaster and our DOTs being underfunded. It's a bad time. And God forbid you have to go to your Division of Motor Vehicles or anything. It's, it's rough. But looking at a place like New York City, which doesn't exactly have optimal infrastructure, I will say, has functional infrastructure. The MTA is one of the most efficient subways and the largest subway systems, train systems in the entire world. I was looking at the stats last night. It was something like between 250 to 260 miles of track all the way throughout this city. There were like, over 6,000 different cars that they had for the trains. So roughly maybe like 600 trains or so running at any given time. Absolutely fascinating stuff. And looking so the first train actually opened for the MTA specifically back in 1904. I believe that there was a train system that ran briefly that was very short and wasn't able to be expanded because of some zoning restrictions and stuff like that back in like the late 1800s. But MTA actually opened its own track back in 1904. So this train system has existed for 120 years, which is crazy. That's absolutely insane. Like, I don't even know how you build something like that back in the early 19th century, because you got to think about it, like refrigerators were not a thing that people just like had in their homes until like, what was it, the 1950s? It was a long time ago. Maybe you know more about history than I do, so.
Not about like American stuff that much.
Yeah.
Tell you a lot about kings and queens of Europe.
Yeah, they don't teach us much about the international world in America as well for our education system. Looking at all this, though, it's just, I don't know. I also realized yesterday that I lived in Shanghai for a period of time. And during my time in Shanghai, I was under the impression that Shanghai was one of the most populous, dense cities in the world. I was incorrect. So Manhattan itself is actually one of the densest residential areas in the entire planet. I believe the estimate was like it's over 20,000 people per square kilometer, which is fucking crazy. That's so many people. I was walking around Manhattan yesterday, you know, going around Times Square and like the busier areas, also towards like the financial district where the One World Trade Center is, and just amazed at the sheer quantity of people everywhere, all the time. Like, you're nearly body to body walking on these wide open giant streets, and it's this massive city. It just, I don't know, like there's a word that I heard that describes the feeling of realizing that every person that you walk by is their own unique human being that has their own experiences, their own stuff that, you know, you think about all the complexities of yourself and all this crazy stuff that's happened to you. Everybody's like that to some degree. And it's the word was sonder was the word that I was thinking of. But I was just looking around thinking there are probably 1,000 people just in my immediate vision walking around me that all have their own unique lives, all have their own stuff going on. And we're in, you know, one of the biggest cities in the world, one of the richest cities in the world, one of the most expensive cities in the world, as we came to quickly learn. Oh, there's a bird. I don't know if you can, I think you can see it just barely. Oh yeah, right there, there's a little black dot. Look at the little guy. Oh, there it goes.
It's got like red wings.
There's a beautiful bird over there. Can you tell I have ADHD? Literally just like a stereotype of somebody with ADHD.
Oh, look, a squirrel.
I don't know. There was something else I had in mind when I was thinking about what to do for the stream. We kind of got out a little bit late today as we were like trying to get out to the actual city itself. And we were just, you know, trying to rush to sort of get to the island because the last ferry here leaves at 6 o'clock. Oh yeah, I got you. Last ferry here leaves at 6 o'clock, so we were like, we got to get out here and do this, and we didn't even get on the ferry to get here until 3:45, and now we're, you know, getting close to that time. But I don't know. I've thoroughly enjoyed checking the city out. I'm sure I'll come back to it. As much as I love, you know, the area that I'm from, sometimes I am stricken by just how low the population is in comparison, and Errett was experiencing some of that based on the other small area that they live in. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know nearly as big of a stream as Errett does, but that's okay. I love all of the viewers that I have, as small as my audience is. And hey, we were just chatting about that yesterday, about how having a gigantic audience and having actual notoriety and fame it has its downsides, but
It sucks ass.
Oh, is that mic still on?
I assume so.
Oh, okay.
Put it over there.
Oh, okay, you didn't press any buttons or anything. Gotcha. Who knows? Who knows if this stream will ever get big? I'm kind of just like, you know what? If it happens, it happens. But otherwise, I'm just enjoying my time. So, alrighty, y'all. I'm gonna log off. We're gonna go get packed up and get the hell out of here. But y'all have a good one.